everybody. Doug Fields here with the Download Youth Ministry webcast, episode 233 with the Queen, Katie Edwards, the host who doesn't host, Josh Griffin, and our special guest who, is this second or third time? Second.
Yeah.
Wow. Second. We're very excited.
Exciting.
You are our go-to guy.
They had me back.
Yeah, you are our go-to guy.
Which is a miracle.
You're from the garage to the studio.
And this is a nice place.
Yeah, we do okay.
This place up.
Oh, yes, we did. We're out of the garage, and my wife is actually kind of happy.
Yeah,
this is, for those of you that are not rewinders and watch every show, this is Jason Carson. Jason Carson has been a youth pastor in our area for many years. Helped disciple my son in junior high.
Yes.
You know, he's
Cody
now,
Fields.
He's there.
Cody's here today.
Love him.
Yeah.
22
Cody,
years old.
Love you, dude.
Jason is kind of our hero youth pastor.
Absolutely.
Right? And also,
That makes three.
Your mom, and then two. That's good.
And the claim,
Katie.
the claim to fame is that he was in the original drummer leader. Did you start the Supertones?
Yeah.
So it was you.
Well,
Because you know,
it was a team effort.
I've told you this. Back in the day, I would be speaking somewhere, and I would say, they'd say, "Where are you from?" I say, "Orange County." Do you know the Supertones? Do you know the Orange County Supertones?
And you are, and were, but are the Supertones. I love it.
Yeah, but here he's not on.
He's so humble. He can't even.
He's not on the show.
I'm not the Supertones. I'm a part of.
He's not on the show because he's a Supertone. He's on the show because he's one of the best youth pastors we know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
very cool.
We've learned a lot from
And
Jason.
Matt McGill, who's been canned so many times, he's not canned from the show. But
Sorry, you got canned.
Matt's in-laws came into town,
Yeah.
and Matt could not break
they
away.
came.
And we said we are so on fire for 2014,
We're
doing
on.
as many podcasts as we can, because we ended 2013 with what we thought was a really good show, Jason. It was episode 232, but I'm not going to say who. Somebody didn't record the sound. So we have 45 minutes of...
He's just off camera. He's right there.
I'm not saying... Parker, I didn't mention your name.
We will not mention Parker's name. We've made a commitment.
Yeah.
Do
You
not
said
mention
so
Parker.
many great things on that show.
It was a
It was
good show.
easily our best.
Here's what's throwing me off, Katie. Here's what's throwing me off. I don't even know what questions, when I answer the questions, we throw them away.
Just
so
throw
I
it away.
thought, done. So now there's all those questions. Anyway, so we're going to call episode 232 The Lost Show.
Because it is lost. It's
But
truly
Josh
lost.
and I were talking about maybe putting it online and letting some youth workers voice over and giving like free DYM material to the best.
That's a great
Good bit, right?
So-
our mouths are moving. There's no sound, so go nuts. Yeah, have fun.
And
We
have
should
like
do our own entry.
have like a 3-minute cap on it.
I love it. All right, take a 3-minute
We can
clip.
post
Got it.
those.
All right,
Hey,
done.
let's do
Was it
this.
the first 15 minutes?
No, it was the whole show.
The whole show.
The whole show.
The whole show.
Yeah, Parker somehow screwed the whole thing.
So what happened before you guys got here?
Yeah.
There was a youth ministry conference, and I did a little greeting, welcome to this youth ministry conference, and we recorded it here. And somehow between the greeting of the conference and this,
podcast.
we lost it all.
Yeah.
We have sponsors.
tough, man.
Josh, why don't you? Our primary sponsor is Youth Specialties.
Primary sponsor is
who's
Youth Specialties.
starting now.
Yeah.
Team Training, ysteamtraining.com.
Yeah.
Is going big.
Very excited about it. We're actually, the Orange County one is coming up in just a few weeks. We'll be there. It's going to be great. So bring your team, have a good time. $399. You can bring your whole team, like up to 15 people. So we're always thankful to YS for sponsoring the show. But make sure you go to the National Youth Workers Convention in the fall and now team trainings here in the spring.
One of our other sponsors, Leader Treks, we promoted them very well in the last
We did.
Mute show.
The best ever. Sorry, Leader Treks.
They have the Refuel Retreat, which we've been talking about. You sent your staff to.
Yeah,
They loved it. February 26th through the 28th in Pawleys Island, South Carolina. Do you know where that is?
You ever been there?
I have not been there.
They're doing
I've been to South
two.
Carolina.
They're doing two
Love
in
it.
Pawleys, South Carolina, February 26th through the 28th, and April 29th through May 1. They're also doing one in Brothels, Texas, and in Keystone, Colorado.
That's
I
awesome.
really want to go. You had team people go to that, right?
Yes, they
really
loved
wanna go
it.
to
They
one of
really
those.
came back refreshed, excited. The community was
They will
incredible.
let you go.
I
They'll even
know,
scholarship
I
you
just-
because you're on the podcast,
I
and
really
you could
want
talk
to.
about it with more credibility.
Yeah.
Speaking of credibility, in the mail yesterday, I got Youth Ministry 360, one of our other sponsors. I got their magazine in the
Cool.
mail, and I looked for our ad. Our ad.
Hey, where is it?
Our
Wait for it.
ad,
Where is
our
it?
Wait for it.
ad,
Hold on.
Our ad.
Climactic?
There's the YS Team Training ad, but where's the Download Youth Ministry ad, Josh?
Where is it? Where is it?
Josh missed the deadline. Josh missed the
Sorry.
I
deadline.
thought Parker was supposed to put the numbers.
Yeah. Let's just say Parker muted the deadline.
Very good. So
and-
anyway, Youth Ministry.
welcome to the show, Jason.
Jason, Youth Ministry 360, not only are they our friends and our sponsors, they do incredible things. And they have
do.
13 studies out now on the life of Jesus. They call it the Jesus Studies. And check it out. They're affordable. They're great. Learn more about it. YouthMinistry360.com, Jesus Studies.
There you go. Got it.
Good job.
There's our sponsors. We thought,
great.
let's get them in the front.
Yeah.
Well, did you talk about Azusa? Or
Azusa.
Azusa,
Come on,
sorry.
I didn't wear a Azusa shirt.
We got leader
I
checks
know,
for
that's
fuel.
good.
Don't she normally wear this?
Well, I have about 1 million of them, so I wear this shirt today because I
Yours
had
a
a little bit
different
fancier
Azusa
meeting.
shirt.
And Josh has been killing me that he says, you must be really cold. Now I'm self-conscious.
Well-
I asked Katie if I could wear a sweater. I asked Jason if he had Band-Aids. My wife and daughter just walked in. Can you see anything?
Totally.
Maybe it's just that doesn't help when you pull the shirt.
7 calories, I think. That's
Yeah.
good.
Just be glad you're watching the audio version of the show.
Yeah.
That's all I can say.
Great.
Watching the audio version?
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Hey, so the last show we announced a winner. Do you remember what the winner was?
what did we
were
do?
doing the drawing. We did a winner for, was it a Zorby beanbag? It was
Maybe.
something major.
But we gave
never
away a
know.
whole cruise because the show was muted, so they'll never know. Yeah, round trip airfare and everything.
So anyway, I remember there was a second place guy.
Yeah.
And I was gonna.
Oh, and you totally
Jimmy Doyle, and he says, "Oh my, I can't even tell you the emotional roller coaster you put me through." So
You announced the second place guy, and he
Yeah,
thought he won.
and then we.
And then you're like, just kidding.
because I sent him an email, and the email that I sent him said, "Dang, sorry you didn't win, but thanks for writing in. We wish we could have given out a lot of winners, but just one. P.S. We did read your email on the show, second place, baby." So.
It's
brutal.
ice cold,
He
man.
says,
Brutal.
I got this email with the gentle, passive-aggressive, beautiful letdown announcing the nearness of my ultimate bliss. I was ultimately happy to know that at least my email was read on the show, kind of like a youth ministry equivalent to the Purple Heart. I checked the website today to see if the show had been posted. I almost lost faith in humanity. Almost a week later, I squealed like a middle school boy going through puberty as I saw the show on the newly announced iTunes channel. On the way back from dropping off one of my college leaders at Chicago Airport, about a 2-hour trip to Mishawaka, Indiana, I figured there would be no better way to pass the time than by waiting in anticipation for my name to be mentioned. As I listened, I almost forgot to tell about what I was listening. I almost forgot all that I was listening for as the wisdom and the truth and the knowledge just poured out through the speakers.
You're welcome.
That is until
Was
the
Mac on
words
that week?
fell off of Doug's lips like humankind water off well-manicured lips. Jimmy Doyle. Jimmy Doyle.
well manicured lips. Wow.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I don't.
What followed was a series of unforgettable blows. Jimmy Doyle, the first loser. The sympathy from the team as they empathized
Yep.
with my position almost felt like a warm embrace in the solace of my empty car.
That's funny.
Well
Yet
manicured.
there were
embrace.
no hands to wipe away the tears. After mentioning my bribe attempt of an all-you-can-eat weekend at Outback, was quick to want to meet me. Hey Josh, remember
in.
this guy? And then there's a photo of Josh
that's
and these
awesome.
guys
Nice, Josh.
at D6. Josh even follows you on Twitter. So anyway,
It's the kind of guy I am.
but he does say.
Why don't you give him a beanbag?
The only
Josh?
thing that will help me sleep tonight is the soundbite of Doug saying, quote, "I want to meet this guy," on repeat in my headphones.
Oh,
Matt,
sorry.
I'm sorry you got
Sorry,
canned. Now even more, I know your pain.
What a great email.
Jimmy Doyle, nicely
That's
done.
fun.
Nicely done.
funny.
Second,
Now, is there anything you can give second place? I'm sorry to offer that. But
Yeah, I was gonna say.
now it's going to get really awkward if not.
Yeah.
what do you want to give him?
Well, I don't have anything to give him.
Hey, wait. Can you sign a CD?
How about a download Supertone song? Are
Yeah,
you allowed
can
to
you get
give any of those out?
You can have anything I got. I don't know.
Will you sign it for
I
him?
haven't seen a Supertone CD in years.
Yeah, how about a Supertone song off iTunes?
Yeah, can you iTunes him 99
You
cents
still
song?
make royalties off that, don't you?
Oh, it is.
No wonder
Have you seen his
such a
house?
nice-
I get about
nice watch.
$80 a year. It's
Have you
nice.
seen his house? It's a sweet house. The Supertone's been really good to you. Come on.
Here we go.
I was in his pool, and it's pretty great.
And by the way, Josh's 8-year-old does flips in the pool like it's his business.
Exactly.
I know.
He does.
He's the man.
All right, this is from Jake King. This year, Jake King is in Toledo, Ohio. This year, I combined the middle school and high school groups. Last year, we averaged 15 for each. We graduate a lot of high schoolers,
awesome.
so we combine. We hardly have any high school students come now, and the ones we do have are dropping the ball on leadership opportunities. I've tried a few things to get them to take leadership, to take ownership, but nothing has worked. Part of this, I feel some resentment from high school students who are now, I think some resentment from high school students who are now with the middle school students. Yeah, we had a high school small group and we had to cancel because no one came. What can I do to help them become leaders? We have some awesome middle school students who will be great leaders. So I guess twofold. How do I get my high schoolers to be leaders now? How do I prep the middle schoolers to be leaders now and in the future?
Wow, that's a really
That's a great question. Yeah.
Okay, so student leadership, while you guys think about it,
Yeah.
go to studentleadershipconference.com because we got a student leadership conference for you and your middle schoolers and the couple flaky high schoolers that you've got too. And Toledo, Ohio, we're doing one in Granger, Indiana. That's close.
Yeah,
isn't
it's
it,
close to
Josh?
Mishawaka that Jimmy was just talking about too.
Yeah. Did I say it right?
He did, Mishawaka.
Wow.
Yeah.
Katie, what do you think?
I feel like there's a couple of different layers of issues happening. I mean, from what he's explaining. I mean, I think thinking through how do you love on and reach the high schoolers? There you might have some high schoolers in your ministry who aren't ready necessarily to be leaders. So pushing them into that role because you feel like they need to be or they have to be, you just might have high school students that aren't ready to be in that role of leader yet. And I think that's okay. You know, I think really thinking about where are your high schoolers at? You know, where do they need to go? It might not be to leadership quite yet. So do they need to really understand their faith? Do they really need to understand their relationship with Jesus more? The better understanding they have of their own personal relationship with Jesus is what's going to push them more towards leadership versus us as leaders pushing them into that role. So it sounds like there's a little bit of, I think, evaluating to do. Who are your current high schoolers and what do they really need? Is it leadership or is it, something else?
Community discipleship, all that.
So-
Yeah. My mind kind of went the same way. In junior high, you have all this fun youth group, it's great. And then when you get to high school, you're like, now we mentor the junior hires who have this awesome community and great. I thought, what if it looked like where you did maybe half and half, where you still did great youth group stuff with the high school. You still had fun and games and all of that, but you also then had a serving capacity to it too. And I would also say this happens in youth ministry where you have seasons where your high school students come through and they're leaders, they're unbelievable, they're changing the youth group in the church. And then you have oftentimes followed right after a great season of leadership comes a dearth of leadership.
Totally.
And you're like, I am failing. This is terrible.
Yeah.
So know that there are some waves and seasons to this too. Obviously, you're in the downside to that.
Well, not all high schoolers want to lead middle schoolers. They're not all.
Not all adults want to leave middle
Not all
schoolers.
adults want to lead middle schoolers. So thinking just because they're older, they should be playing that role.
Right,
Again,
right.
it's what do they really need? I think prepping your middle schoolers is actually an easy and fun part. Just beginning to create culture of serving opportunities, evangelism opportunities, all of those things. I think prepare them for leadership. So the salad bar for middle school.
What do you think?
Yeah, great stuff, guys. I would say instead of maybe trying to get all the high schoolers to be leaders, something that I just, as a youth pastor, always lived for is just identifying the one or the two. That just like you could see, like I want this kid to take the whole group one day and just really pour into them and invest into them. I mean, I know that was my story. I know it was the story of many people I know in ministry today. It's just their pastor believed in them and they took them out to lunch and they took them to coffee and they took them, with them on speaking engagements and events and just poured into them everywhere. If you took a trip to Costco, bring the kid with you and talk to them about God and about their faith. And so you build that. It's almost the same thing as evangelism, right? You don't just walk up to someone you don't know and say, "Hey, sign the line." It's like you build a relationship, and after you gain that trust and that people know that they love you, there's so much more depth than just like reading them a 4 Laws tract. So in the same way, like for a youth pastor to just see some incredible potential in a kid and just to pour into them and say, "Hey, I believe in you." And when you get to that point after a while, after the relationship goes on, you can actually just, I've said this to many kids just to say, "Hey, let me ask you something. How would you feel about just partnering with me in this group, taking on an incredible role of leadership that one day it could be said about you that God used you to change the whole dynamic and landscape of this entire youth group. And I believe in you, and I'll help you get there, and I'll help pour into you. And here's what I think you need to do, and here's some areas that might need to be refined, and might need, to be cleaned up a little bit, but hey, let's do it together. And you see a kid's, usually 9 out of 10 times, right? Maybe more. Kids' eyes just light up like, oh my gosh, no one's ever believed in me their whole life.
Right.
And all of a sudden, they're like, this is great. So, I just love that. And that would be my bit of encouragement to him for that. But Josh, I loved what you said about the waves. Isn't that funny? Like, I've been in youth ministry about 20 years now, and I've seen probably 3 different times there were classes that came through.
Yeah.
The class of 2004 or whatever it is, and they were stocked. They had 5 game changers in that class that all 5 of them could run the whole group, and they did it together. And one was a worship leader, one was a preacher, one was a camp director, a game leader, and you're just like, dude. And those five people ran the youth group for the next 8 years or something like that. So good advice, though, man. It comes in waves, and if it's a bad wave right now, a good wave will come.
There's a good one coming behind it.
But it's depressing. You end on a high, and then you go like, I feel like we're starting over again.
Yes.
Yeah, I like the idea of the co-leader. I was thinking about the video we just gave to our DYM members in January that I did a video on a simple way to change a teenager's life. It was a little 10-minute training, and it's the power of words. That you begin to shape into them what they don't see in themselves.
Absolutely.
And if youth workers did that more often, like, I see leadership in you that you don't even know you have. Well, kids rise up to that, if it's genuine, sincere, the whole bit, and they typically don't have people believing in them. But what if we did this with this guy? If I'm saying to Jake, what if you took some of your high school kids and said, hey, co-lead with me, which you just suggested, and those who don't, that's fine. But then, as part of being a co-leader in the junior high ministry, I'm going to do a small group at my house for high school kids, and I'm going to spend more time with you.
Huge.
That way, you don't just abandon your whole high school ministry and force them to be with junior high. Yeah. You kind of have a best of both worlds.
Cool.
So, just a thought.
Can I add to that too? It's so important. Katie brought this up earlier. If people think that all high schoolers, especially in those smaller youth groups where you have 20 kids, 15, whatever, and you say, oh, there's 6 high school kids, they all need to lead these junior hires. Let's not forget they're 15.
Right.
Or 14 or 16. They need a youth group still. They're in those ages. So, good point. Everybody shouldn't just be thrust into leadership when it's like, man, don't they need a summer camp? Don't they need a fun, wacky game? Don't they need to fail and pick back up?
When Matt's not here, we get to a lot of questions.
That was a legitimate answer right there.
It's so weird to do a podcast and not have
interruptions
people talking over each other. So, Matt, watch this show and say, this is what...
Matt won't be able to hear anything that we're saying, I'm sure, but... because it's on mute still, Parker.
Another
it
shot
with
at
Parker.
How do we know it wasn't Seth?
Probably
executive producer. Really, he's in charge.
He's not here, so he can't take the blame.
Okay, here's the deal. Resource-wise, for our monthly DYM membership, one of the things they get is a student leadership program. One of the 8 resources. It's written by LeaderTrex. And so, even if you don't have a student leadership group, the idea is that you would give it to a kid to do on their own.
Yeah.
And then you meet with them. And so, I don't care whether you're a member or not. If you don't want to be a member, that's great. But there is a really good resource on our website that can help you begin to develop student leadership. And
well, even if you just take bits and pieces of it, there's just great principles on there.
I know, they do such a good job.
Yeah.
This is from Pastor Darren at Penn Forest Worship Center. It's a little weird. Hey, guys and Katie.
Great setup.
So normal.
Matt, sorry you got canned. I'm looking to get some wisdom in your opinion on a T-shirt slogan for my youth group. The slogan is, I went to Epicenter. So Epicenter is the name of their youth group.
Okay.
I went to
Earthquake,
Epicenter.
Youthquake. Fire. Ignite. Sorry. I'm just brainstorming.
I love it.
I went to Epicenter.
Youth ministry. Sorry.
And all I got was this T-shirt. I've got some students that think it's funny, but some adults that think it sends a bad message about our church. Wondered what you guys thought.
All I got was Jesus and this T-shirt.
I went
What can we
to
do?
Epicenter and all I got was this shirt. I went to Epicenter, all I got was this shirt. What do you,
nice.
what do you think?
layout.
I don't want to spend a lot of time on it.
It's
What do you
funny. I think it's
I
fine.
think it's funny.
I get the little whatever pushback, but whatever.
Yeah.
I think it's totally inappropriate.
Are you an executive
Really?
pastor?
It's great.
Yeah.
There's so
You're gonna
many
make a great
other
senior pastor
things
someday.
to push back on.
Yeah.
Besides this,
I
It
mean,
just feels like
honestly,
small
if you want our
potatoes.
honest opinion, Darren, they think it's great. I think it's a B.
You
Honestly,
think you could be more creative than
I
that?
don't. All I want. It's such a ripoff of culture. You know, I went
Right.
to Cabo and all I got was this T-shirt. It feels like there's a more. If you're going to spend money to do a T-shirt, you know,
Go next level somehow.
yeah,
All right.
brainstorm something.
There's a lot you can do
little-
with
a little
Epicenter.
different. It's
That's
not
a
bad.
cool
I mean,
name.
I don't.
I like
I don't
that.
think it sends the wrong message. I just don't.
Where's
think,
he from?
I don't think it's an A.
What if it was like a galaxy with a little arrow, a little tiny arrow, and it said, "I went to Epicenter. You should too," or something like that, like pointing to the Earth or whatever,
Good
something
job.
like that.
I would say too. Oh my gosh. I would say too. It's not probably not a hill to die on. Like depending
It's
on what
fair.
his culture
totally.
is.
Yeah.
Is that shirt that good?
Yeah.
That you're gonna like?
No, I just-
fight
Well,
in
and
that
lose
case,
support of your
I
parents.
just gave it a B. Okay, I just gave it a B.
But
I-
but how
that's
about
generous.
this?
okay,
How about
move on.
this though? If parents are
I
nitpicking
just-
at everything,
Yeah.
come on,
Yeah.
that's a T-shirt.
All right, let's
Oh,
get
pain.
into
The
your
pain behind
let's get
it.
into your wheelhouse right here.
Okay.
Ready for this?
Here we go.
I'm
JG.
worried. This is a setup. You can feel it coming.
This is from Adam Schweitz.
Hello,
And
Adam.
again, he is a member, and we want people to tell us
Yeah.
if you're a member.
Yeah.
Those are the people that get our monthly.
Yes.
Helping
Do you get
out.
extra
Yeah.
prizes if you're a member, or is it just we just like
You
saying
just
it?
move to the top of the
Oh,
pile.
there you go.
Yeah.
Doug
Well,
won't-
this is
Doug won't
pretty
let
much
me
all.
be a member.
Kyle's kinda lean today.
After the mute session, I hit
yeah.
delete all. I got rid of all.
Really?
we're
So this
starting
is
all over.
fresh,
This is all
brand new?
new stuff. This is all
There
new
you go.
stuff.
Okay.
Hey everyone, Matt. Hope you don't get canned. Again, I'm a rewinder. A rewinder. That means somebody, Jason, who started somewhere in the
Wow.
middle and all the way back
All
to
the way back.
listen to all the shows.
And is now
we
current,
actually have
which is
double
stupid.
rewinders,
Wow.
also known as losers.
They are the epicenter of our fan base.
No, that is
There's people that
they're the
really-
insider fans. But who
Yes.
double rewinder? How much time do you have in your hand?
It's pretty intense.
Catch up with Breaking Bad or something.
It's pretty
Double
intense.
Maybe have a
No,
commute.
these shows are fantastic for when you're organizing your office and you can play them.
Yeah.
They're the best.
Yeah.
So once a year, every January, I'm cleaning this office, throw a
Double
show on.
rewinders. We tend to give out more prizes to people.
No,
like,
I'm kidding. That was just low hanging
No
fruit.
trivia.
It was
Yeah.
just a
It's I give it a B.
He says, I have
I
a
give
question
it a
that
B.
requires the wisdom and insight of the only person I could think of that could answer it, Josh Griffin.
All right.
What is
JG.
this question?
I-
You'll see.
This is
You'll
rough.
see why
Yeah.
he goes
This is
after
not
Josh.
good.
We
Yeah.
just got done
Exciting.
putting together our
So
calendar.
I'm super fat, and I want to. You can see it coming. I'm like, hey.
Wouldn't that be addressed to Matt? We just got done putting together our calendar for 2014 a couple weeks ago. We have an event planned for May 4th.
May the 4th be with
Oh,
you.
yeah.
4th be
Hey,
with
I
you.
can
just for the
chime in.
record,
Hey, let's go.
Carson can hang with Star Wars. He
Oh,
is a
really?
bigger fan than I am, and I am a big fan.
That's debatable. We're
well,
both fans.
what are you like, 250? Keep going.
Other than throwing, quote, Empire on the big screen, what other Star Wars themes, games, and activities can you think of that would be awesome for such an event? The lower the budget, the better. Now, May the 4th be with you is very fun.
That's fantastic,
Hilarious.
right? Come on.
And isn't the new Star Wars coming out?
Yeah, not till 2015. Christmas 2015.
Okay, for those that don't know, if you're not a double rewinder, Josh is the owner of theforce.net.
True.
Or co-owner of the
Yeah,
Force.net.
co-owner of Force.net.
And when I
impressive.
take him with me or different places, when we speak together, whatever, we want to do giveaways. I'll go, if anybody can stump Josh with a Star Wars question, people can't stump him.
It was
He
fun.
knows everything.
We owned people at junior high camp
Yes.
this summer too. No, but
just
it
a-
was awesome.
It's a great
Yeah.
bet.
I got a guy who can stump you. I can guarantee you. Man.
And you're that guy.
No, I'm not.
You are.
I'm not.
Okay, so quickly, what do we got?
Okay,
I think it's a fun idea, and honestly, it made me
Hilarious.
think, why don't we do something for DYM? Let's
I
put
agree.
a May the
I
4th be
agree.
with you event night out.
That's
Or
a great
Revenge of the
idea.
6th.
We did a. We did.
I almost said it right.
We did a costume contest that was really fun. We had the world's largest lightsaber duel. We did a Star Wars like on the lawn under the stars, whatever. That was fun. There's a Star Wars cookbook called the Wookiees Cookies. It's
Yes.
like recipes for Star Wars recipes. So really fun Star Wars themed food. Yoda soda is in there. A lot of rhyming names of food apparently, which is like a lemon lime and lime sherbet
You should
drink.
have
It's
kids
fun.
bring a Star Wars inspired snack or dish. 'Cause
Yes.
even if you give them some of the creativity to come up with some stuff, that could be fun.
Yeah,
too.
so if you know Star Wars, you know blue milk is a thing, so you could have blue milk and cookies or whatever. Yeah, I know, it's rough. So I think those would be really fun, really inexpensive. Have a great time. May the 4th be with you is a great
It would be
great
fun to do
idea.
a fun photo booth too, with
Yeah.
like, a great Star Wars backdrop, or even rent a couple costumes of, to be standing
Like
next to
legit
students.
costumes.
Yeah.
And we did like a Wookiee growl contest, so you do like an impression of your best Wookiee, which
That's
is really fun. So
And they want no budget, right?
Well, the lower the budget, the better.
Yeah, and
Typical youth
stuff like that, renting costumes, that's like obviously big time, right? Or it
Right,
can be,
right.
but I mean, you get on Facebook and you say, "Hey, can I borrow Star
Yeah,
Wars
totally.
costumes for this youth ministry party?" It's unbelievable
Yeah.
how many people respond
Yeah,
to that
for
stuff.
sure.
well, and even giving away like vintage toys, they're not that expensive. If you go back into like the early 2000s or 90s, you can get really great sealed action figures for like $3. So it feels like wow, this is a really cool gift or whatever too. So trivia game, and then you hand out these action figures for $3 a pop. That's a no brainer.
Some people own the entire original set of characters from the 70s sealed.
Is that you?
Dude, he does.
No?
He showed me. What's your favorite character? Bib Fortuna.
That's right.
I know you, bro.
It's weird. Don't ask. It's
Okay,
just-
can I tell you where I've gone in this whole deal?
Did you just take a little nap?
When he said, "May the sixth
May the
Sith be with you," I've been trying to think of one
Revenge of the
the whole
Sith.
time.
You haven't heard
Revenge
a
of the
thing.
Sith.
Yoda soda, it's all gone.
I
It's all
didn't-
gone.
Yeah.
Oh.
But my problem with Star Wars,
Did you think of one?
all I could think of was R2D2. That's the only thing I know.
You got a little
I'm
choked
kind of
up.
working through. I'm kind of working through every day of the week. No, it wasn't.
R2 Tuesday, D2. No, nothing.
R2
wasn't fine. It just shows my knowledge of
Yeah.
Star Wars. I know there's 4 films.
No.
That's way off, Doug.
And
It's called a trilogy. But who's
and
counting?
Luke is
Darth Vader.
Darth Vader's
No.
father.
Oh, yeah, No.
His
Darth Vader's
son.
Luke's father.
I don't know.
Either way, a Star Wars movie night. We
All right, well, welcome back. There's been very few times, I think 3 in the history of 234 shows that
And
we've
I've
had
been
to
here
edit.
for all 3 of them.
yeah.
But those were edits that we chose to make because
Yep.
Matt said something inappropriately. This edit has happened because one of the people running the show, either Seth
Yep.
or Cody Fields
Yep.
or Foddy,
Yeah. There's
or,
Foddy. My friend Foddy.
Parker,
Could have
whatever.
been Parker. Could have been.
Anyway, all of a sudden,
It's too early
in the
to say
middle
if
of
it
the
was
show,
Parker or not.
the red light is out, which used to be Katie's only job.
Yeah.
to do the
Not
red light.
anymore because
So
we have all these producers.
Basically, I know.
Wow.
Basically, what we've done is we lost 15 minutes of the show.
Wow. So we have the lost episode. Now we have the lost 15 minutes.
That's 15 minutes. It was really good.
That was really good.
We knew-
Well, easily some of the best
should-
wisdom that's ever been shared without Matt being here.
Yeah. So what we're gonna do, because everybody has to run, we're
Yeah.
not gonna go back to that, but we will save this question.
Okay.
I want to save it for when you're here because
Yes,
was awesome. That
was
you had
really
such a
good.
great
You
guys-
answer.
no, it
Come
was
on.
really good.
Wow.
So and Matt would not have said anything near that.
Well, hopefully Parker won't screw up again. Or I mean, whoever's fault it was.
Yeah. Here's the deal. We're going to be back every week, and we got more questions. So send your questions into web show at Download Youth Ministry. Why don't we see if we can't get some of our sponsors to buy us a new camera?
I like that.
Okay.
Or maybe a new employee.
That's terrible.
Just kidding.
Oh.
We don't necessarily know if it was Parker.
Yeah, if you look at January's game that was made,
Yeah.
you go, okay, Parker's game makes
He's a
up for
genius.
makes
He
up
is a
for his
genius.
All
inability
of your
to.
stuff on D1
Can't run a camera,
Pretty
but
good.
makes a mean game.
But
It's a
don't
mean
you think
game.
that's more important?
It is.
Yeah, totally.
Love you, team. Love you,
Wait,
Parker.
if they sent a question last year and we didn't read it, should they just resend it to you?
Oh, it's
Oh,
over.
it's Control-Alt-Delete. Everything's gone.
So resend it.
Yeah, resend it. Everything's gone like
He
what
formatted
show
his
was that?
computer to try to delete
232. Everything's gone like show
Yeah.
232.
All right, it's
but
all
we
right.
love you. We'll see you again next week.
Yeah.
Bye.